Recording from the One More Pour studio, where every pour comes with a story. This is the Dram Amateur Podcast. And here's your host, Jason.
All right, welcome back to the Dram Amateur Podcast, the show where we explore the stories, spirits, and sips that make the world of bourbon, whiskey, bourbon, rum, tequila, mezcal, and beyond so exciting. I'm your host, Jason, and I'm thrilled to have you here for another pour of a great conversation. Before we dive in, don't forget to connect with me on Instagram at Dram_Amateur, as well as YouTube and Facebook under the Dram Amateur Podcast to stay in the loop with exclusive content and updates. Whether you're a seasoned enthusiast or just starting your journey into the world of fine spirits, this is your spot to sip, learn, and share. So pour yourself something good, get comfortable, and let's kick off another unforgettable episode of the Dram Amateur Podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so hyped about this episode. Today, we have a returning guest who doesn't just talk about mezcal, he lives it. When he says he's going to Oaxaca, he doesn't mean quick vacation and a couple Instagram stories. He means boots in the ground, palenques in the mountains, late night conversation with maestros, and coming back with stories that smell like a pour of mezcal. He just got back from Oaxaca and the heartland, the soul, and sacred ground of mezcal, and he didn't just experience it, he documented it. That's right. He dropped a documentary capturing the culture, the craft, the people, and the danger impacting mezcal today. So if you've ever wondered what it's really like to stand next to a horno full of roasting agave, to taste mezcal straight from the still, to sit with families who's been doing this for generations, you're about to find out. Let's give a warm welcome back to the agave ambassador himself, the man, the myth, the smoky legend, Adrian of Planet Mezcal. Hermano, bienvenido de nuevo.
Thank you so much, Jason. Just a note, my fiance is the only one that can call me a smoky legend. So
I will never call you smoky legend again.
Yeah, it's such an honor. It's been so long. Yeah, so it's great to catch up. I see you've got a nice collection there of mezcal yourself. So I guess welcome to the mezcal bug.
Yeah. I mean, when you and I first met and first talked, I think it may have been a year ago now, actually, or pretty close to it. I had just started getting started, like appreciating it and understanding it. I always have had an appreciation for Mexico and the culture and everything, because I work with colleagues down there in Mexico, visit Mexico City quite a bit. And it's always been something that I've really appreciated. So yeah, when I discovered mezcal, I discovered tequila first and then discovered good mezcal. And I was like, okay, yeah, I think this might be my favorite spirit right now. So yeah, me and mezcal are like really good. So yeah, I have a couple great bottles. 3 of those bottles I got from Roxana at Ancestral Bottle Shop down in Atlanta, which is really cool. She's an amazing human being. So props to her for turning me on to those. And I'm going to enjoy the La Medida tonight. It's a mezcal artisanal Joven, so it's a Tobala. Tobala, right? Tobala. Okay. Yep. So you got to help me with my Spanish. So
I mean, as soon as you start sipping, you start to slur things. So yes.
But man, it's good to have you on. Let's talk about so before we dive into what we're going to talk about, you've been everywhere lately, man. Your Instagram's blowing up, your YouTube's blowing up. What have you been up to before we get into the big topic?
Oh man, yeah. Thanks so much for bringing that up. It's I'm just so blessed. Like just through going through events, like my passion for mezcal, I've met some really incredible people. I think when you drink mezcal, you start to get loose a little bit. So I think it's made it easier to network than usual. But yeah, I just connected with great people. They invited me on to the recent Del Maguey influencer trip, which was in December. And then like a month later, I met somebody there that invited me to the Cascanes tequila trip to Guadalajara. So I got back 2 weeks ago, and there's just so much going on. And what started as just like a passion project to give a voice to small mezcal producers in Mexico just has kind of snowballed into this like crazy startup with a whole lot of potential. So yeah, just couldn't be more blessed. And so far everything's been manageable, and and it's been enjoyable. Yeah.
Dude, I'm super excited for you. When I saw some of the original pictures from some of the trips you went on, from some of the other influencers that went, I immediately pinged him. Like I messaged him. I'm like, he is literally the best freaking dude I've met. I'm like, just honest and humble and like caring and compassionate. And it's like, I couldn't have asked to see your, like, if for everybody I know in this like industry now, like I couldn't have asked to see a better face representing all of this stuff than you being there. And I mean that with utmost respect. So I'm glad you had those opportunities.
Oh, Jason, my brother from another different mother's genetic. Yes.
We'll figure that out.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, that means a lot. Yeah, like I try to not be transactional, you know, like I studied business and communications, and I know how like those two worlds, like how your passion can kind of like twist things. And so I thank God that like mezcal has kind of kept me humble, or I've tried to stay humble, but like I'm just trying to approach this as honestly and as genuine as I possibly can. And yeah, I'm so grateful that you're able to see that through the content.
Yeah, you really are. And let's talk about the content for a minute. Your content's fun, man. It's engaging. I'll tell you, influencers like myself and other people as well look up to you for what you've done. I love a lot of what you're doing now, right? Going into stores, talking about bottles, even having some fun videos that you've even created too, which has been awesome and really fun to see. But I think at the heart of it is just you're telling stories, you're sharing experiences, you're sharing and trying to introduce the world to different expressions of mezcal. So I think it's really great what you're doing. And it's funny, just we always talk about like watching the growth of people, right? And seeing how they grow and how they expand and how they build and do better. And dude, like you could see it in all of your content and everything you're doing. You were always there and have a strong presence, but you're rocking it, man. You're killing it now. It's fantastic.
Virtual fist bump.
We can do that.
Yeah, we're both killing it. I mean, you're on YouTube now, man. I need your autograph.
Oh man. All right. Well, hey, let's talk about trips. So when I originally reached out to you to say, holy shit, you had this amazing trip, I'm like, I really want to hear about it. Like when I see these things on Instagram, through all the different influencers and the experiences, man, I will tell you, it is, it's really cool to see, right? And then, like I said, when I saw your face there, I was like, "There's no better person that could have been on those trips than that guy." So tell me, let's start with the Dram Amateur one first. What was it like? That was your first trip, right? So tell me about your experience and your first trip. What was it like?
Yeah, thanks. I did not know like this was a thing, like brands bringing influencers or just people to their palenques or just to capture the whole vibe there. I didn't know that was a thing. When they invited me, I was like, oh, is it just me? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, this might be a little too much just for myself. Like, that's a lot of responsibility. But when I got there was like 10 other people. So it was really nice to know that there was other people that had that focus of content there. So it was chill. I just want to thank God for allowing my fiance to go with me, because that made creating content a lot easier.
Yeah.
I wasn't always like holding my phone and recording stuff. Like we were able to like report, almost like reporting. So just grateful to have her along, and it just kind of made the whole experience a lot better. Like we went to like 5 different palenques in like a span of 3 days with Dram Amateur.
Okay.
And I try to capture as much content as I possibly could, because it's such a rare opportunity. But then before we booked our flight, I spoke with my fiance and I was like, hey, what if we stayed like a week more? We get PTO, but then, we do these other really cool things. But I have it in my heart that I want to create a documentary and just tell the struggles of the mezcalero, because I feel like they're not being told. A lot of the marketing that goes on right now is like this beautiful symphony of liquid, pouring heart Oaxaca. but like people don't know, or people aren't being shown the struggle. Like this stuff is a lot of work, it costs a lot of money, there's a lot of pressure. And I just wanted to capture just a glimpse of that, and just grateful to be able to partner with a lot of mezcaleros and be introduced to mezcaleros and welcomed by them. And thank God this thing kind of went well.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, let's talk about your documentary. So it's called Mezcal en peligro, lo que nadie este comentado. Sorry.
Oh,
comentando.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, Jason.
So it means mezcal in danger, what nobody is talking about. So I've watched it a few times now. And really interesting, to be honest with you. So like you said, from my perspective, you see what you just said, right? Everything's beautiful, everything's great, everything's, perfect. And then you start to listen to some of the struggles that they're going through. And it's really kind of eye-opening. Like I didn't even expect that was happening. I always kind of, I had an assumption, and I've seen that through a lot of what I've talked to with people, that like sometimes it's harder to sell locally in Mexico, so that's why they export to the U.S. But and that's why I was a little shocked by what you were seeing or showing in the documentary, and I want you to talk a little bit more about it, because I thought that was the case. And then there's struggles, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, why? Like if we have all these people that are interested in buying this and doing all this stuff, but it sounds like there's a lot of hoops to jump through, the government stuff. Like I was shocked about all that stuff too. No help, no guidance, no nothing. So talk to me a little bit about the documentary. Talk to me about what how like you started, like what your thought was about it. I really want to hear all about it, because I think it's a fantastic insight into real world situations that are happening down there that people need to understand and know about.
Yeah. So I guess just to preface, nobody paid me $1. I wasn't told to go to these different palenques. Like I did that all myself with my own money, not sponsored, no nonprofit thingy, manipulation, money laundering, whatever. Like, no, like it was my salary doing this stuff. And thank God my fiance was with it. I didn't probe them. Like I wasn't like, I need you to say this. Like, no, I just showed up. I was like, hey guys, I got like 30 minutes because we're going to like 8 other ones today. Just please tell me about your struggles. Like, I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care. So they just kind of poured out their emotions. A lot of them talked about the government not helping out, even though they're paying tax dollars. I mean, similar to the US, right?
Yeah. Of course. Yes, absolutely.
Also like corruption, like a lot of this stuff didn't make it in there. So I guess I'll just give you some hidden behind the scenes stuff, but
love it.
Some mezcaleros, they have to go out of town to buy already harvested maguey. And some of those sellers will illegally harvest maguey. And some will actually say, oh, this is a tobala, when in reality it's just like a weird morphed espadín or whatever. So they're just kind of changing the names to try to get a couple more pesos for their product. And there's a lot of that going on. Also the water, like we didn't touch too much on the water. Water's becoming a huge issue. Like once you crush the agave and you put them in the tubs to ferment, you need to add water. You preferably want it like river or well water. And a lot of these producers don't have the money to afford a well, and they don't have the resources to transport water from a river. So there's a lot of disparities in getting the agave, the water to ferment the already crushed agave. There's so much struggle, and it was very difficult for me to pick what I wanted to focus on when editing, but I really wish I could have made it longer, but I just, I know retention is pretty low these days, so I just wanted to keep it like 30 minutes, and it kind of did feel like a data dump. Like I felt like I put too much on the viewer, but I think it was so important to just tell people what's going on. And then just, if they have any questions, like just reach out or put it in the comments or anything. but the goal is like to go back and do another one in English and maybe focus on just a few of the biggest issues, because there are many.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was a data dump at all. Actually, you left me wanting more, to be honest with you. I was really interested in it. So the water thing was mentioned in the documentary briefly, and I cued in on that because one of my colleagues lives in Monterey, and I know that they've experienced a lot of water issues there as well. So is it water issues just for proximity purposes, or is it a drought situation? What's the reason for the water issues?
There are many reasons.
Okay.
Yes, proximity. Yes, because then you have to get a truck and then barrels and then go to the river, and then some counties, or I'm not sure what they call them, but like some cities, pueblos, they don't allow you to just take water free at will because they're drying up.
Yeah.
So you can't just go in willy-nilly and get as much water as you want. The well water, like it costs many thousands of pesos, dollars to get that going, and people just don't have the resources. I mean, even now, like if you told me, hey, it's $5,000 or $10,000 to put a well in your house, I'd be like, let me think about it.
A lot. Yeah. And
then another one is somebody actually mentioned the government. They said that some people are reporting that after so much, the Mexican government will actually like tax them or give them a fee for using their own water. And I might be wrong, but they also mentioned your own well water. Like if you're utilizing your own well water, they're going to tax you. So it's getting pretty ugly. So
is that hard? How much does that impacted their production? Did they talk anything about that? Like, are they producing half as much, a quarter as much as they used to a couple of years ago?
That is a great question. I would assume it's affecting it, but they're still producing. So I don't know if they're, not reporting that they're getting water from their wells, or not reporting that they're paying for the well water. Maybe they haven't been caught. That would probably be a better question for somebody more tailored to that.
Understood. Yeah, no problem at all. With one of the things in the documentary that they mentioned was just the price that they're being charged for the mezcal, how it's being bought. I was a little surprised by that, because as a consumer, right, if you're sitting there saying, hey, I'm getting an ultimately amazing product, that all this effort that goes into it, this time that goes into it, this craft, this skill, all of these things, you're going to pay a price, right? Premium is different to different people in different societies, but still, like, they sounded very like it declined even since COVID. Like, it's even declined over the last couple of years. Is that because of just the market, or is that because of there's oversaturation? Any insight into why that was happening?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So COVID, prices for mezcal and most other spirits surged, as you can imagine, because everybody was staying home. So then there was an oversupply. Like they were just planting as many agave as they could. Many palenques were opening up to meet the demand. But then after COVID, and then after a lot of reports came out about any consumption of alcohol being bad for your health, not just the wine industry suffered, but also the spirits industry, which caused a lot of the newer palenques and even the old ones to shut down entirely. And the agave that was planted years ago is now selling for pennies on the dollar. So that's just the demand side for palenque and agave. Now when you're considering trying to squeeze out profit margin for your product, your mezcal product, one of the individuals, I think he was the last mezcalero that was there. He said that the main reason why mezcal is so expensive is, okay, you pay for the glass, you pay for the sticker, you pay for the labor, the agave, the tech to make the mezcal, and then you pay to register your brand, the importer, the taxes for the government. So there's you're getting chewed 6 different ways before the bottle ends up in the US or at your house.
Yeah.
So that's a huge reason why mezcal has to be so much more expensive. Like what would have cost $100 now costs $200 because everything that's tacked on.
Yeah. But I mean, I mean, even with that said, I still think people need to understand how this is made. It has to understand the history of it, right? I think that, I mean, and these are traditions and recipes and ways of making this that have been passed down for generation after generation after generation. And even in your documentary, there was even newer generations that you had interviewed. You had interviewed like their dad and then the son that was learning how to make it as well. And he'd been saying, I think he said he'd been doing it since he was like 12 years old or something like that, which is amazing, right? And I think people I think people need to understand and do the research. People need to go watch what it's like to cut and break down an agave, to put it in a pit, to take it out of the pit, to mash it, to crush it, to ferment it. Like there's a lot that goes into it. And I think that if you understand that a lot of that's done by hand, you know, there was a burro like pulling the Tohono around, like crushing the agave as well, right? And I think they have to understand like there's a lot that goes into all of that stuff to appreciate it. And that's why it's not $20. It's not $23. If you want a $23 product, you're probably going to get what you pay for. And that's why this is a little bit more pricey and expensive. So I think the consumer needs to understand more about it. Right. And I think that's the beauty of what you're doing. I think you're showcasing it through your Instagram channel. I think you're showcasing the struggles through your documentary, but then people start to see it and understand it more. And it starts to make a little bit more sense to them.
Yeah, they start to appreciate it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think there's a huge potential in the social media marketing world for people to promote mezcal because not a lot of people are covering it.
Yep.
But so many influencers are covering whiskey, like my Eagle Rare 10-year. That's what is that, $50 MSRP? My EA's Taylor, I think that's like 60. I've got a Penelope that was like just shy of $100, the cigar blend. So then when you compare those prices and that demand for these products, and then you look at like a Vago Espadín, that's like $60, you're like, man, I don't know much about Vago or Espadín. I know mezcal is smoky, but I know this Eagle Rare 10-year is barrel aged for 10 years, and then it's pretty hard to find still. So I'm just going to lean to something I kind of know.
Yep. So
there's a lot of education that needs to be done. I wish more brands pumped out like smaller bottles, like the, I think this is a 250 ml, and this is the 750 ml.
Yep.
I wish more mezcal brands did the smaller ones so that the price is a little easier for the consumer to experiment with. So.
Yep. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I literally just had a conversation with somebody last night about that. They took a picture of a 375 bottle of bourbon, and it was a store pick. And I'm like, why are more brands not doing that? You bring the cost down. It makes it more approachable. You spread it out a little bit more, right? Because somebody then might, if they like it, they'll go back and buy 2 bottles, 3 bottles. Somebody that might want to try it, and you're not then selling out of it. There's so many benefits to doing the smaller bottles that and now with people even cutting back drinking, right? There's studies now that people are even reducing their drinking. So if you're giving them bottles that start to go in a lesser quantity, they might actually buy more and experiment more with it. So I am pro 375 or 250 or whatever size bottle that is. I really am, man, because it gives you the chance to introduce you're going to go buy a $40 bottle at $375 before you buy a $90 or $100 bottle at $750. It's going to happen. That's what your consumers do. So I hope brands, they're never going to listen to us, but we can keep trying to say it because I think there's a benefit with it. So, they got to keep trying to do that. I think exactly. I think it introduces them. So tell me about your driving. So how did you plan this? Did you just get in a car after you were done and then just start driving around and just finding things, or did you do a lot of research beforehand? How'd you plan this whole entire trip?
All right. So when I got the green light to do this with my fiance, she gave me the green light, she gave me permission. I went on a few Facebook groups that I'm a part of. mezcal Facebook groups. And with my sloppy Spanish, I said like, hey, I'm going to do this documentary. I took a screenshot of the towns I was willing to go to, right? And I circled them and I was like, I'm going to be in these little towns. Comment and send me a message if you want me to, work with you. We're going to do this documentary free of charge. Don't give me any bottles, just be down to be interviewed. And that on one group, it got like 600 comments.
Holy
and
cow.
I was like, all right, I'm set. So let me for about a week, I was just messaging them back. It was just like lining everything up. And it was just so much, like, it was a lot because, man, like some of them had to drop off. Some of them had bad internet. So like communication in between was like 4 days. And some of them had to send me the WhatsApp of their dad's number, which then sent me to their son. And then it required a lot of patience, but when you're passionate about something, you do it. So it took about 2 weeks to just kind of line these ducks up. And after the Del Maguey trip, one of our friends that we met last year, he picked us up, and then he was willing to drive us for the 3 days that we were doing the documentary. And he was just happy to be with us for the 3 days. We obviously compensated him for the 3 days. He's actually one of the producers. It's funny because when he picked us up, he was like, "Oh, hey, I heard about this documentary. Did you know I used to work as a film producer?"
No way.
I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh,
that's awesome,
perfect."
dude. Yeah.
I was like,
Perfect.
Free labor. No kidding. So yeah, he was telling me like, "Hey, like just film it this way. Just get in their face. Like they're not gonna tell you anything, And I'm trying to be more respectful. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be in there. I don't want to record people that don't want to be in there. But he assured me, and the planning took like 2 weeks.
Okay.
My driver was down to drive us for the whole 3 days, pick us up from the hotel, take us to all the palenques, no problem. So it went great. There were a few that I wanted to go to, but they were just out of the way, and just for efficiency, we just wanted to focus on the ones that were the closest to each other.
Okay, that's cool. And so when you didn't tell them, hey, dear guy, I'm stopping by on this date, this time. You just showed up. They knew you were coming in a certain time frame, and they just showed up, and they were making mezcal and spending time with you for however long, an hour or two to ask questions and get to know them.
Yeah, exactly. I feel really, really, really bad. I feel really, really bad because I should have told him sooner that I could only be with you, or I can only be with each brand for like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And there was a few brands that like were making lunch. They had family over. They're like, hey, like we did this for you. And I was like, oh, like I looked at my fiance, I looked at my driver. I was like, bro, if we stay here, we're gonna be late. We're not gonna be able to go to all the palenques, and I felt really bad. I just feel really bad because like they don't get as many people as they should, and when they do, they want to make a good impression, and I totally get where they're coming from. But the next one, I will communicate that. So.
Either that or look at it as an opportunity for next time, right? Like it gives you, now that you know that and you've created the connections, you can always go back and then know that you're only going to go to one or two, right? And spend the time there to talk more about, because honestly, I would love to see a documentary where you sit down, you talk to them, you have lunch with them, like you understand the history of the family. Where do they come from? Where did the knowledge come from to make the mezcal? Like I would eat that up, dude. Like I'm such a nerd with that stuff, man. It would be so cool. So like look at it more. I understand you were time crunched, right? And it may suck looking back at it now, but look at it more of an opportunity. You discovered that you've got a network of people and a community there that would support that, right? And wants to spend more time with you. So I think it gives you more of an opportunity to look at it and say, hey, I can do different things with this content and keep going back and building on this over time. So I think it opens the door for you to do different things and to really showcase it more.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail in the coffin. That's precisely what we want to do, God willing, when we go back, is do an English one and do different pueblos, different towns, because I got a lot of scrutiny from some buddies that were like, hey, you should have gone to this town. You should have gone to this town. So
I love that.
We're going to 3 different pueblos next time. I'm already kind of am planning it out. And it'll be English, and it'll just be like 4 families max.
That's cool. Why English? Let me ask you that question.
Because okay, I speak Spanish, and I can definitely if you take me to a flea market, I can negotiate. I can figure this out. I can hang with my family. But it was a little difficult for me, and thank God for my driver.
Okay.
Who he lives in Oaxaca, and what I was trying to say in Spanish wasn't coming out right, and he was kind of like translating for me. So so it was kind of difficult to get the words out. So that's why I want an English one. Another reason is because a lot of consumers that purchase mezcal are English speaking. So I think I kind of owe them and owe myself that to make an English mezcal documentary, because I would have wanted to watch an English documentary, because there honestly isn't many. Like, there's some, but not what I'm envisioning. Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you it from my perspective, and hey, opinions are, everyone's has one. I loved it. I loved it in Spanish. I thought funny, and I'll reference something else too. The Godzilla movie that came out in Japanese with all subtitles, and I was like, I'm not gonna want. Am I really? I love Godzilla. I'm like, am I gonna really want to read subtitles? I looked at my wife and I said, I would have never watched that movie in English. All the passion wouldn't have been there. Even though you were reading it, you heard it in the people's voices, and it came through differently. Same thing with this. I had zero problem that it was in Spanish. I actually appreciate it because it challenged me even to listen to it. I could pick up every third and fourth word as I'm listening to things, and then reading subtitles was easy, right? I can read a subtitle and listen. So, I mean, honestly, I like the authenticity of it. I think that it really helps to connect the culture to what something is, and doesn't just make it, I hate to say it like this, but like make it vanilla, like it, everything's got to be in English, there's a culture there. Like, people need to understand that everything's not black and white, and everything's not English, everything's not like, there's different cultures. We have to respect that stuff. So I liked it. I loved it. Do one in English, love that for you as well. But I just want to tell you, like, from my perspective as an English speaking person who speaks probably this much Spanish, I loved it, dude. I thought it was really, really good.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah. Organic is key. Keeping it authentic is key.
Yeah.
We do know a few bilingual mezcaleros, the towns we plan on going to. So that would just be seamless. Like, it wouldn't be me doing a voiceover. Like, it would be the maestro mezcaleros speaking English as they do. So it wouldn't be much of a lift. But who knows? Maybe we can squeeze 2 an English and Spanish one. So we'll see.
2-week trip, man. 2-week trip, Adrian.
Yeah.
Big picture. Think big picture. So I'm actually surprised. Like, I'm surprised that, like, you just showing up for 30 and 45 minutes and you got the content that you did get, and you were able to see that stuff. I guess, talk to me. What was your biggest surprise from the trip? Like, going and seeing all these things. What was one thing you saw that you may not have expected?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just how embracing everybody was about a stranger putting a camera to their face as they're not exposing, but as they're storytelling their family's cultural upbringing. Like, they're just so happy to just be like, hey, like, this is our mezcal. Like, look at our mezcal. Like, look, come here, look, get in there. And just, you don't really see that here in the U.S. as much organically. I mean, like you point up a camera in somebody's face, you might get
Get the thing out of my damn face.
Yeah, exactly. So they were just like, yes, please come. And oh, you want mezcal? Oh, don't even worry about it. Oh, you want another one? Here, try this one. And they're just so embracing, and it felt, like I just wish I would have had more time with them. And because each day we did like 6 different palenques.
Wow. Okay.
And it was like,
in and out. Yeah.
So
how's the food?
That was
how's the food?
I hate coming back because everything here is genetically modified. It's fake. It's processed.
Yep.
Some company owns it that owns another company that's on the stock market.
Yep.
So when you try to please shareholders, you're trying to squeeze profits. So you got to kind of put GMOs in there. But when you go to Oaxaca, everything's freshly picked. You can get a gallon of freshly squeezed orange juice for like $4. Like, oh my God.
I asked you that question because I knew the answer already. I mean, I tell my wife every time I come back, I'm like, you guys don't understand, like the food. I'm like, I told my wife, like, you just have to come with me to just see and experience the culture, because it's amazing. The people are amazing. The food's amazing. The architecture, like everything about that I've seen with Mexico, and I've only seen a smidgen of it. I haven't even seen anything more than I would. I want to see so much more. Like it's so cool to be able to see that. So I knew the answer to that was going to be like, I didn't want to come back.
No, I didn't. That mortgage.
Yeah, real damn life. What the hell, man?
Yeah. So I'm talking to my fiance about potentially allocating a couple bucks each month to like actually buying a home out there in Oaxaca.
Yeah,
because I'm projecting in like 5 years, there's going to be a direct flight from Sacramento, where we live, to Oaxaca. So we just kind of want to jump ahead of the, we see where it's going. So, so that way, once we retire, we get our pension and we just live there.
There you go. Start a GoFundMe. Because I mean, think about it. I mean, or a Patreon or something. Like if you do something like that, you give back through what you're doing, right? And I mean, there's a benefit from that stuff. So, I love the idea, man. I might join you. I might get a house next door to you. I would love it.
I hate capitalism. Give me money.
No, man. I mean, it's like I said, it was a lot of fun to watch the documentary, and a lot of your Instagram reels have been about there and Guadalajara a lot lately as well, which has been really fun to see. How was Guadalajara? I assume you went to Guadalajara. Oh my God, Guadalajara to fly out and fly back home. Is that right?
Fly out and fly back home.
Like flying back home. Did you fly in and out of Guadalajara to get to Mexico, or did you fly into somewhere else airport wise?
So for the Guadalajara trip, it was just for Guadalajara. So we were there for 3 days.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, just 3 days. And I've been to Michoacan. I've been to Oaxaca, and it's very humbling. It's very, just there's not a lot of resources. It's almost like you're stuck in time, like you're stuck back in time. But then you go to Guadalajara.
Beautiful.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I was so proud. I've never seen like a huge skyrise in Mexico. Like they've got BYD, they've got Tesla Cybertrucks, they've got cars I've never seen before. Like they got money over there. And I was like, whoa, I was like, this is like, man, I'm like, why did I bring this? Like, I feel broke here. Like, it was nuts. Like, man, like
It looked really pretty in the in the videos you've sent and everything like that. Seems like a really nice city. What'd you guys do there? Just do mezcal tastings and seeing things and sightseeing?
So it was for a tequila brand. It was for Cascanes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You mentioned that.
And it was really, really fun. We went to like their facility.
Okay.
It's not called a palenque. It's called like a facility, like a warehouse, whatever it's called. And while I did feel kind of like a fish out of water, because I was like the only one that was like in the mezcal world, I tried my best to capture content and kind of marry it with mezcal, which they appreciated. Like they reached out and like, yeah, like you're doing pretty good. So that was good. But every chance I could, like I didn't even sleep. Every chance I could, I would try and sneak out to some place that had mezcal. That way I could, do mezcal some justice in Guadalajara. So
That's cool. So you got to meet a lot of content creators at Cascanes. How was that experience with everybody?
I like to sip mezcal and chill with it neat.
Yep.
These guys are party animals.
They have a good
Cocktail, like cocktails, like, hey, here's a cocktail. I'm like, yeah, but I've got this, I've got this tequila thing. Like, oh yeah, shot. And you're like, oh, all right, peer pressure. There's 30 other influencers looking at me. Like, all right. Otra vez, there we go. And you're just, yeah. So it was it was humbling.
Yeah, it sounds like you had fun though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish I could go again, stay there longer.
Yeah.
But, reality strikes.
No, I understand. Yeah, you gotta get back to real life and go back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the cool things I saw in your documentary was you went and paid Berta Vasquez a visit, which was really, really cool. I mean, for me, she's a big name that I've seen a lot in mezcal, and she's the mezcalera on this bottle here that I got from Roxana Ancestral Bottle Shop. And it was cool when she told me, she's like, yeah, Jason, this was harvested and distilled in 2020. It's 2026. So she's like, think about like the different, the different years that this was been made, the different, climates, maybe it was a rainy season that year. So she's like, they have something that's still on a shelf to be able to drink that from back then. It's kind of unique and special. I'm like, give me it. Give me. So how was and it was really cool to see. I've seen videos of her on Instagram and everything like that. How was it visiting her and getting to see everything? Because I mean, she's pretty, she's a pretty big deal in the industry for sure.
Yeah, I guess more just a little bit of context for some of your viewers.
Yeah.
So that La Medida that Jason had is from a maestra mezcalera, a woman, right? So it was distilled 6 years ago. But the plant itself takes about 10 years or so, give or take, to mature. So you're looking at over 20 years before Jason is able to pour that in his Glencairn.
Oh no, sir. Sir, we have a proper little.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Okay. Whiskey world. Okay, to over 20 years. Okay, so when you see like branding like Eagle Rare, they stamp a nice big 10, 10-year Eagle Rare. You're like, wow, 10 years. Jason has there a plant that took over 10 years to mature and grow, and then has been sitting in glass for 6 years. So it is extremely rare, and it's such a privilege to be sipping that. So yeah, really cheers to that, amigo. That's such a
salute, sir.
Such a gem.
Yeah, it is really cool to sip this stuff for sure.
Yeah, so with Berta, man, we had to go through like, okay, so one of our amigos, Lucero Spirits is a brand. Lucero, really good. His name is Jed Wolf. He passed the connection to Berta Vasquez, and he reached out to her because he buys mezcal from her for his brand, Lucero. And somebody answered the phone, which was not Berta, which then connected us to Berta. And then she called me, and she was like, Adrian, ¿cómo estás? She was basically saying, she was just speaking in like this old grandma tone. I mean, my grandma speaks like that, so I loved it. Come to my palenque. I would love to have you. Please come. And so we went there, and I was like, hey, Berta, like, is it okay if we film you? We're doing this documentary. Like, just chat with us. And she started talking, and she just poured her heart out, and she started crying and just It's such a blessing to have her there. She's honestly like the mezcal. I don't want to say Beyonce, but like she's like the mezcal Michelle Obama.
Okay. Yeah.
Like she's that respected. That like when you mention Berta Vasquez, like it speaks volume.
No, it's really cool. That's really cool. And I saw you. I think you shared an Instagram clip where you spilt a little of the mezcal out of one of the.
Dude, I did it like 2 times. Yeah, like you pour it, and then the whole thing just splashes out. Yeah. You're like, oh man, dang it.
But, oh man, yeah. But she had a lot there, huh? I mean, she has and I mean, she must be producing every day, and then has it on hand, and then sells it when anybody wants to come buy it, like you mentioned, right? Is that how that works with her?
Yeah, so she sells large quantities to brands like Lucero, like La Medida, and then there's a few others.
Okay.
And then her own. So I wanted to buy her mezcal from her own brand, and it's on the way. It's still in Oaxaca, but it's with a friend I trust. But yes, you can go to her house and just buy mezcal from her, authentic, and it's a lot more affordable than buying it from a brand that buys it from Berta, because obviously there's more middlemen and there's paperwork you have to pay for. So when you buy directly from her, you're supporting her directly, and she sees the funds right then and there. So
that's awesome. Now it goes right to her, right? Like you said, there's no middle person, so it all stays with her, which is great. So did you get to try things that she maybe doesn't sell and she keeps for herself? Is that some of the things that you got to try?
Yeah, so we got to try the perfect amount of mezcal on this trip. Yes, she had a lot of stuff just hidden, a lot of stuff just like on the floor, and we obviously if you ever have the privilege of going to a palenque, meeting a maestro mezcalero, and they're just pouring you stuff, like feel free for once in your life to just tip willingly, because this stuff is gems. They're hard to find.
Yep.
And you're doing them a favor. Like you're helping them. You're not helping like a conglomerate.
Yeah.
No, you're helping this family that produces mezcal with their hands. But yes, we tried like this crazy triple ensemble, like a blend of 3 different agave, which I have, and I don't know when I'm going to open it up, but one day.
It was amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not going to find a trip. It's hard to find ensembles that are that good. And when you have it from Berta Vasquez, she's like the Michael Jackson of the mezcal world. Like,
I love it.
You almost just want to hold it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Does she focus on only? Actually, one question before that: was she like the biggest producer that you went and visited there, or were there bigger ones?
There were bigger ones. The second to last gentleman, Carlos Blas.
Yep.
He produces mezcal. They buy mezcal the same way that they buy Berta Vasquez's mezcal. So brands come in and they buy specific quantities. Carlos produces mezcal for Cruz de Fuego, which is a pretty well-known brand. Cruz de Fuego, Palomo, which is his own brand, and a few other brands. He doesn't just produce artisanal mezcal. In that facility, he has ancestral, which is clay pots there too. And he's got like this crazy, crazy shipping facility where if you want a ton, like he's got the bottles, he can print the labels, he's got the mezcal ready to go. He's shipping. He used to partner with a huge brand that is known and not very respected in the mezcal world. Okay. But he's got the facilities. If you've got the funds and the demand, he can definitely meet it.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, I asked you that question beforehand because I wanted to know, when you were there, are they focusing just on a few types of agave, or are they broadly doing any agave they can get their hands on? What did you see, or what do you know about their production and what they're focusing on agave wise?
Okay. So A little, a few minutes back, this conversation, we were talking about like during COVID, how a lot of mezcal producers were planting a ton of espadín. So as you can imagine, 2026 right now, they're harvesting capón and espadín. So a lot of what these producers are producing is espadín.
Okay.
I think 3 or 4 people that we visited were actually crushing and distilling espadín or doing something with espadín. So it's the most popular mezcal. It's the most popular agave type, espadín.
Okay. And then you had a video of a young gentleman harvesting a big, long, tall, skinny one. What type of agave was that?
That is a quiche. I was very excited. I was like, yo, I've cut espadín. I'm ready to go. Put me in, coach. So this guy was like, all right, Adrian, let me just kind of like shave off the trickier ones because espadín is like huge leaves, right? So, you chop one, it's not going to like fly everywhere. Like it's just going to drop.
Yep.
But this quiche, it's like thinner, thornier guys. So you have to be a little more careful because things start flying everywhere. And I was very naive, very excited to start cutting this thing. And like a minute into me cutting it, one of like the tips, the palenques, like flies and it stabs me in my like right by my just in between my thumb and my index finger.
Yep.
And I'm bleeding and I'm like,
oh no,
dang it. So I'm trying to like, my ego's in the way, I'm trying to go again, but like it's throbbing, like my hand is throbbing. And I'm like, okay, I got the videos. Let me just record him. I said I did, I did it. Bucket list done. And that was it. Yeah. So then they were like, Adrian, you gotta clean that up. And I was like, dang, how am I gonna clean it? And they're like, oh, with mezcal.
I was gonna say.
Oh, right. So they poured it. I took the thorn out, and yeah, like it's tough stuff. So yeah, it was a quiche.
Yeah, and there was that one, and then the other video, the other part of the documentary I liked too was you were, I don't remember where you were visiting, but they're huge agave, and like they were like pushing them with their feet and rolling them. I mean, they were the size of like 8 basketballs combined, man. I mean, they were huge, So, and I mean, I think they weigh like 50 to 100 pounds a piece sometimes, most of those agave.
Some can get up to half a ton.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like there's competitions in Oaxaca where the biggest espadín and maybe Tepex out there, Arroqueño are probably going to compete for the biggest, but usually it's espadín. They get tremendously huge, and there's competitions, and they get heavy.
That's really cool. Well, man, what do you got going on in the future? You got to have something planned in the next, couple months to a year or something, or even if you don't have anything planned, what are you hoping to accomplish over the next little bit?
Okay. So we just got an intern like 3 weeks ago.
Really?
He's a student out of CSUS East. Oh dang it! It's a CSU. It's California State College.
Yep.
Northridge. Okay. Northridge. He's writing. He's doing our blog articles.
Cool.
We wanted to get that started, and he was just more than willing. Like he heard about us. He's like, hey, like it's all pro bono. Like I just want to help you guys out. Like what you guys are doing is great. So, we want to just continue growing on our blog articles. We want to go back to Oaxaca, God willing, for this second documentary. And we're really focused on an event. We really want to do a Planet Mezcal event where we don't charge the vendors any money. We don't expect them to do anything for us. Just go and be there. And then we generate revenue through ticket sales. So it's a little difficult, but that is the goal for this year, is to do a Planet Mezcal event with brands that we are passionate about.
That's really cool, man. I will fly out to Cali if you do that. I will buy a ticket and I will fly out to Cali. I would love to come meet you in an event like that and see what you're working on, because honestly, dude, you deserve all of it. Like you're doing exactly what something like this needs from somebody that has the respect and the passion for it. And I love that you have not only what you've done already, but what you're doing now and what what you want to do in the future as well. And I love that you're trying to find ways to introduce people more to this and educate them about it. You're certainly helping me. I will be honest with you, still very young in my understanding of this. And I don't think I'll ever know as much as anybody knows about this. I think I'll always learn, even till the day I pass away. But I thank you for you doing everything that you're doing to help to educate us and introduce us to all of everything mezcal. I think it really makes a big difference. So yes, when you have this event, please post it on the internet. I will show up and I want to come visit for sure. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, we'll take care of you. Tickets on us. I mean,
no,
if you want to save some bucks,
I'm paying.
We have a good friend that's coming from LA. He's coming to NorCal because he's like selling some mezcal here to some folks. He's staying at our house. So like if you want to come, cool. You can stay at our place. I mean, as you can see, we got plenty of mezcal, like pro bono or whatever. Like it's free. Come to the event, free, but it's still not like I'm still ironing out the kinks. I know like the place, the restaurant, obviously like they want to generate revenue and stuff. So it's tricky, but yes, we will keep chugging along. And, you know, when I started Planet Mezcal, like I didn't know anything about it. Like if anything, I started Planet Mezcal for me to share my learning to the world. And sometimes I catch myself watching my own videos like, to, I guess, regurgitate the information, because sometimes like you forget like, oh, how old does this plant take to grow, or where's this brand from? So it's more of like education for me more than anything.
No, it's fair. That's fair. Well, man, thank you for taking time to come back on the podcast. I'm excited to release this and share the content with my audience and then introduce them to your documentary as well. I really look forward to everything you have coming up. And dude, I'm always here to support you with everything, because you're genuine, you give a damn. And I think that more of that's needed in this world nowadays. So cheers to you, dude. I love what you're doing. Keep doing it, man.
Thank you so much, Jason. Thank you so much, Dram Amateur Podcast. I really appreciate you guys. Be sure to follow us everywhere. We even have Reddit, Planet Mezcal. If you have comments, we definitely respond. We're definitely not like we think like we're better than everybody else. We're like we don't respond to DMs or comments. Like if you have questions about anything, I will respond. If I don't know the answer, I will find a mezcalero or somebody that does. So
if you reach out to Adrian, you got the real one. You have the real one, honestly. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's a wrap of this episode of the Dram Amateur Podcast. A huge thank you to Adrian from Planet Mezcal for joining the podcast, and to all of you for tuning in, sipping along, and being part of this amazing community. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to like, share, and leave a review. It helps us grow and reach more spirit lovers like you. Hasta que podamos compartir una copa más juntos. Salud.
Cheers, amigo. God bless.
That wraps up another episode of the Dram Amateur Podcast. Thanks for being part of the community and the conversation. Until we get to share one more pour together, cheers.